Look, I know, there's still some time to go until the Game Awards in December. Yet a handful of games look like they're gonna win it. But as much as I enjoyed some of these potential winners, Sea of Stars is my favorite game that I've played this year.
You know, real quick, I want to thank everybody and say that I think I want to nominate this award to my Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton. Thank you, everybody.
Sea of Stars is a game made by Sabotage, who you might know from another popular game they created named The Messenger. Sea of Stars is a nostalgic turn-based RPG, similar to various other games in the genre. Now, I developed my love for turn-based RPGs at a very young age, through Mario. No, I might be old, but I'm not that old, alright? Yeah, that's more like it. Look, I love these type of games because they allow me to complete the game at my own pace and explore the beautiful worlds the developers created. And Sea of Stars has exactly the case. There are plenty of elements why I like this game, so let's dive into them. I don't want to go too deep into the story as I find that you should just experience this for yourself, but I will tell you the basics. The story starts with Zil and Valere, two children of the solstice and therefore trained to be solstice warriors. One represents the sun, one represents the moon. Their goal is to cleanse the world of the evil spread by the Fleshmancer. As you embark on this journey, you'll traverse a diverse and captivating world that reveals breathtaking landscapes. Along the way, you'll encounter a rich tapestry of settings, each more intriguing than the last. You'll encounter magical, steampunk, apocalyptic and even sci-fi themes. Despite their apparent disparities, these various settings are massively interconnected, seamlessly woven together by the narrative's overarching thread. In your travels, you'll be introduced to a colorful array of characters who add depth and complexity to the unfolding story. Take Garl, for example, a dear childhood friend of our heroes. Garl possesses an extraordinary culinary talent and an infectious personality that can brighten even the darkest of days. From the very beginning of your adventure, Garl stands by your side, offering unwavering companionship and striving tirelessly to bring joy to his friends. It's no wonder that he has earned the admiration of many players and is even often hailed as their favorite character. Yet Garl is just one of the many fascinating characters you'll encounter in the game. Each character boasts their own unique personality and origin story, adding layers of intrigue and depth to the narrative. The overarching story is a marvel in itself, punctuated by numerous plot twists, some obvious and some not. The storytelling is a true work of art, skillfully crafted to leave the players yearning for more whenever they close the game. Or at least that was the case in my experience. For now, I'll refrain from delving too deep into the story, as I believe that uncovering them through gameplay is a genuine treat that should not be spoiled. As mentioned before, Sea of Stars is a turn-based RPG that is inspired by the classics, so you can expect something similar to stuff like Chrono Trigger and Mario RPG. Although the battle system reminded me a lot of Octopath Traveler, where you are supposed to find the enemy's weakness to deal more damage. In Sea of Stars' case, the enemies also have weaknesses, but they don't get portrayed the same as in Octopath Traveler. When comparing the two, you can clearly see the signs next to the enemies, and well, when I saw them in Sea of Stars, that was basically the first thing what I thought of. Basically, in Octopath Traveler, these signs showed the weakness of the enemies, and in Sea of Stars, whenever you see these signs, it means the enemy is charging up a special attack. You need to play the right moves in the right amount of turns to prevent the enemy from attacking you. If you don't do this in time, the enemy inflicts massive damage on you. Other than that, Sea of Stars is a lot like other turn-based RPGs. You have your normal moves and special moves. Multiple special moves in fact. These special moves cost so-called magic points, which is very common in turn-based RPG. By progressing through the story, every party member will eventually unlock an ultimate move. Then there are combos. These attacks can be found throughout the world by solving puzzles or progressing through the story. Combo attacks allow two party members to perform combo attacks together. These are all unique from one another because they all use different character combinations. Overall, the battle system is pretty basic, with many things from other RPGs, but they did add some uniqueness to it with these unlockable combos and ultimate attacks. The overall experience is one that should be very familiar with other games from the genre. You run, climb and swim through many different areas and try to find as many secrets, items and other goodies that will help you on your adventure. It's worth noting that the game doesn't incorporate certain elements commonly found in JRPGs, such as the utilization of buffs and debuffs, or the inclusion of a minimap. The omission of these features was likely a deliberate choice by the game's developers. They may have opted not to include them to maintain a streamlined and straightforward gameplay experience. Had they included these elements, it might have potentially added unnecessary complexity to the game that would have overwhelmed players and made it less accessible, especially to those new to the genre. Oh yeah, before I forget to mention, this game continues the trend of a game within a game. In Sea of Stars you can play a game called Wheels. It's not that deep or anything, but it's really fun, so I should mention it at least. The visual aesthetics of this game are absolutely breathtaking, and I mean that sincerely. It's immediately evident that this game draws heavy inspirations from classics like Chrono Trigger. Personally, the vibrant colors reminded me a lot of the Mario & Luigi series that I grew up with. In fact, that nostalgia factor was one of the key reasons I was so eager to play this game. Now, the pixel art in this game is nothing short of extraordinary. I am a big fan of pixel art in itself, and this game just mastered it. Whether you're exploring the more simplified map sequences or interacting with the amazing crafted character designs, Sea of Stars boasts truly top-notch pixel art. And I shouldn't even forget to mention that this game has fully animated cutscenes. Like, yeah, you won't encounter them every minute, but they add so much extra personality to this game, and it truly shows how much the developers care for this game. Would you believe it? I haven't even delved into the captivating world building yet, because in Sea of Stars they truly mastered the art of it. From the very first area you explore to the very last, the colors are so visually pleasing that they make the characters and other elements pop off the screen. The art style harmonizes seamlessly with the atmosphere the developers clearly aim to create. And speaking of atmosphere, that's something that becomes even more enchanting when combined with the next topic. I was utterly mesmerized by the visual aspects of Sea of Stars. They truly left an indelible impression on me, as that was the primary factor that initially captivated my interest. However, what has left me utterly astounded is the game's musical score. It is of an incredibly high caliber. While I wouldn't go as far as call it the absolute best I've ever encountered, it possesses a certain simplicity that manages to elevate the game's atmosphere to remarkable heights. The game's soundtrack contains a mix of tracks that can only be described as absolute gems. Big shout out to Eric W. Brown. I mean, he already has a W in his name, so that speaks for itself. In addition to his contributions, there are 10 songs composed by none other than the man, the myth, the legend, Yasunori Mitsuda. I mean, you know the game, and even the soundtrack is good when someone with a reputation as high as Mr. Mitsuda is willing to compose songs for your game. I mean, I'm a big fan of his work in titles such as Xenoblade Chronicles or Inazuma 11. Regardless of the specific area you find yourself exploring within the game, the music seamlessly aligns with the surroundings, evoking precisely the emotions and atmosphere that the developers aimed to convey. It is truly remarkable how the composers of Sea of Stars have managed to achieve this feat. Trust me, conveying a specific aura and atmosphere in a video game can be an exceedingly challenging task, especially when it comes to effectively communicating these sentiments to the audience. Thus, the ability to capture these elusive elements so precisely, at least in my perspective, is an achievement that is both rare and profoundly moving. Last but definitely not least, probably my favorite feature of Sea of Stars is the completion of the game, or at least its approach to completing it. A lot of the completion is done by, as you guessed it, exploration. As usual, you have your standard collectibles, in this case Rainbow Conches, but there are also stuff like artifacts that you can find. Those artifacts contain origins connected with the story. And you can even fish in this game, so collecting all the fish is also a requirement. But my favorite feature in this game has to be the post-game. There are so many extras to find after you first beat the game. This can vary from secret bosses to new collectibles and even exploring new areas that were inaccessible before. Therefore, it offers the player excitement to explore every inch of the world and even rewards the player for doing so. A lot of other games, either within the genre or not, just have certain collectibles and stuff that have no reward for collecting them. But this game handles that so incredibly well. If you want to find out exactly how, you should really just play this amazing game for yourself, because you can't miss out on this absolute banger. I mean, I can go on and on and on about this game, but I really want you to experience this for yourself. So if you haven't, please play this game. It's really good if you haven't noticed that yet. The only other thing that I may ask for you is to like this video and subscribe. Anyhow, peace out.